Hello everybody and welcome back to Fortnite. I'm Dash Brandon and today I have some tips for new players and for some players that are in the mid game. Maybe it's something that you haven't quite learned yet. First and foremost, someone wanted me to go over my stats from the last video that I posted on Fortnite. They wanted to check out what I was at. So I have, 1500 tech, 1400, almost 1500 resistance, 2k offense, and 1000 fortitude. You definitely want to focus on your offense and tech. Offense first, then tech. You're going to probably be shooting a lot of stuff unless you're a ninja. Then you'll want to put tech on for your abilities. So first and foremost, wanted to talk about that. Get that out of the way. I'll show you my squads later. Juked you right there. And now we're going to get on to the tips. So one of the biggest complaints that I see pretty often on Reddit and sometimes in the game chat when it's not broke like this weekend, if I take my face away, you can see that chat's pretty well broke. Got a comment from someone asking if I was ready in my last game, which we'll be playing throughout this video, is a Cat 1 power level 88. So when the chat is working, I see a lot of complaints about that. I'll go ahead and bring back my face. So one thing that you can do is you can add a lot of friends. I've got 19 or 20 friends online right now actively playing the game. And these are people that I've met only on this game. I've never played any other Epic games. Haven't played Paragon or anything like that. So this is just people I've met playing Fortnite. So if you're not terrible at the game, if you're contributing to the objective, if you're being an all-around, good person, it's highly likely that I'll add you. I added 2 people that had requested me to be their friend just before this video. So make sure that you add people to your friends list. You can do that at the end of the mission pretty easily. And once you've got them on your friends list, don't just let them be there, being a number in your top right hand corner there. Go to your menu, go to your party finder, and make sure that you jump into games with them. If you see someone doing a Ride the Lightning that you need, hit join, jump in there. It will usually connect you. If it doesn't say private, unavailable, or full game, it will probably connect you, and then you can continue to get your progress done. Another thing that I do, and we'll show you right here, you go to settings, go to game, and you can change your matchmaking region. Normally I sit on North America, but if I'm playing in the morning on a weekend or a day off or something like that, and I'm not finding anyone, usually this happens, anytime before 2 or 3 p.m. Central Time. If I can't find anyone, I'll just go in here and I'll change my matchmaking region to Europe. You hit apply, you hit back. And now down here you've got EU in the lower right hand corner, meaning that you're matching with people in EU, the European servers. Which, yes, your ping goes up and the game becomes a little bit more difficult to play. But on the other hand, if you really want to play the game, then you might be willing to be putting up with something like that. That's what I do because I really enjoy the game. Also remember when you're done or when it gets later in the day that you switch back to North America if that's where you're based. So right now it's 3:30 on a Sunday. I think I've got quite a few friends on. This is also, you share a friends list with EU players. So you might add someone from EU, like this guy right here. He's an EU player that I added. So I can group up with him when I need to. And to figure out what mission he's doing, I just ran it through Google Translate. And then I can see if it's a mission I need. Another thing that I see pretty often is people putting things in the collection book that they shouldn't have. When I started way back when I launched, they were throwing out Founders Llamas and all kinds of stuff at you, and you got epics and you got, a handful of legendaries here and there, which may or may not have been good. But even then, I was only booking the stuff that was below a blue level, or blue and below. So I would go over here and I would go to my collection book and I would click on people, and anything that was blue and below that I didn't think I needed, I'd go ahead and stick it in there. One reason people need to be aware of this is because once it's in the book, you can't use it. You can't add it to a squad. You can't make the weapon. You can't do anything with it. You can level it up to increase the level of your collection book. That's all you can do. You also want to make sure that you're planning for the future. So there's a siege breaker that I have that, as it is for me where I'm at right now, it's not a good weapon because it's got this perk and it doesn't have an element on it. So I'm going to hold on to that with this alleged reroll system that will eventually come out, hopefully. If it's not terrible, I'll be able to reroll this siege breaker. If not, then I've just held on to it for, a month or two in my inventory, and it doesn't really hurt me at all. I've got about 50 slots up there that we can use. And I have a bunch of epics in here that I use for transform fodder. So definitely be careful with your collection book. Next thing I want to talk about is over-leveling your schematics from the area you're in. So when you're in Plankerton, a lot of people I've seen level up their weapons to 3 stars, which makes you feel really strong until you get to the point where you can't craft it anymore because you don't have any malachite and you're still in mid Plankerton or low Plankerton. So one thing that you want to do is be careful about when you're leveling things up. I never level things up until I think I have a pretty sufficient amount of material to make it for quite a while. So that's usually for weapons. It's like I want to make sure I have a stack or 2 of the thing that I'll be moving up to. One problem with this is that when you're evolving something, it doesn't really tell you that things are changing right now. So if you go to evolve, oh, they did fix that. Nice. So when you go to evolve, it's going to show you the new stuff that you're going to need. So make sure that you're looking at that. Make sure you click on that crafting so you can see what you're going to need to craft it. And make sure that you're able to get those materials. If you did level up something and you did it preemptively, fear not, because you can trade, and typically higher level players will trade for malachite with you, and it's usually for stuff that you can farm pretty easily. I myself usually trade malachite for nuts and bolts, planks, herbs, coal, quartz, anything that's easily farmable, but something that I don't necessarily want to farm. So it makes it really great for trading with newer players that may have made that mistake, or people that just want more malachite. Maybe they get it, but they don't get enough of it. I have the itchiest nose during this video. Another thing that you want is, or that I tried to do, was not be afraid to try different trap layouts. The only thing that it'll cost you is materials. So if you go back and watch my earlier videos of Stonewood and Plankerton, and then you go watch a video now in Twine Peaks, you'll see that my techniques have changed quite a bit. And that's just something that I've tailored for the items that I can make and what I've found that works for me. If I had a better floor launcher, I would actually start using those after the floor freezing traps, because they actually provide better CC, I'd say, than these ground spikes, these wooden floor spikes. I think they provide better crowd control, especially if you don't have a roof trap there or a roof at all. So make sure that you try stuff out, because one of the things that I find the most fun in this game all around is I like to make trap tunnels and kill tunnels. I like to knock people off cliffs, or not people. I like to knock enemies off cliffs, and once they're off the cliff, they're gone. They're not coming back. That's one of the most fun things for me in the game currently, is just creating a base that I don't have to shoot that much, because shooting can also be expensive. Crafting traps is also expensive, but shooting is also expensive, and you probably won't find this. You probably won't even have a need for trapping a lot until you're in late Plankerton or Canny Valley. When you start getting up into that higher level content, So when you'll finally start seeing a lot of this, a lot of these things that I'm talking about take place. For players that are in that area, one thing that you'll want to be careful of is your research trees. So in tier 3 of your research, you can get a stat boost for 2,700 research points, which is 5 of any stat. So one thing you'll want to be careful of is that you just want to take what you need to move on, and you'll want to get your survivor squads, of course. So get your survivor squads and you'll take whatever you need to unlock the next section. I think it's 40. That's what I'm at. It might be lower, it might be 36 or so. I don't know, I can't look at that now. But then you'll want to move on to your tier 4 tree, because these give you 8 points of whatever stat that you're getting. So in essence, these cost 500 research per point, and tier tree costs 540 research per point. So this is more bang for your buck being down here. Also, you'll want to aim for your survivor squads first. So I came down here and got my tech guy first. Then I came up here and got this guy. So you'll want to branch out and do that first. Then you'll want to focus on your tech or offense, whichever you are prioritizing at that time. After I've completed my tier 4 tree, I will return to 3, but it's going to be a little while. Even if I don't take useless things like this here storm shield storage. Don't ever take that. It's not a good use of your points. Another item when it comes to leveling is that you don't want to spend your skill points on useless skills, because there is a finite number of skills in the game, and by the time I learned this, as you can see, I had already gotten pretty much everything in tier 1, and I had gotten almost everything in tier 2. Pretty much everything, even stuff that was terrible, like defenders and storm shield storage. I would really wish that I had those 2 points back for that. You'll want to make sure that you always get survivors as you need them, or as you can. And I always skip defenders. To me, it's the most useless node that there is in the skill tree. The only time that you'll want to take them is when you have to. So you have to take this one here after you complete Canny Valley 7, so that you can actually unlock your next tree, tree 4. So you'll have to take that. If you want to do this helicopter, you'll have to get this, which is 4-star evolution for them. Sometimes you have to take those nodes to get to something that you do actually want. But as you can see, like right here, I was able to skirt around the storm shield storage and still pick up this sniper rifle upgrade. So I don't actually have a sniper rifle that I want to upgrade yet, but eventually I will have one, hopefully, and I'll be able to upgrade it. And as you can see, I'm sitting on 9 points here because I really don't know what I want to use those last 9 points on, which is actually only 2 nodes. I could get some tech, and then I could get this hover turret upgrade that makes it blow up. Or I could decide that I want to get this banner, which I'm not sure if the banner is going to be a good upgrade, because building health is capped in Canny Valley, and you don't actually get this building health increase. It's pretty broken, so that's kind of annoying. But yeah, so just be aware that there's a finite number of skill points and plan accordingly, because I would like to get, some of these other offense boosts, or, a health boost, because my health is real low, but I just can't sacrifice those points. You get points from, once you've reached max commander level, which is level 310, you'll be able to get points only from your collection book and from doing the additional storm shield defenses that you may not have done yet. I'm still working through Plankerton, Canny, and Twine at this point, so there are still some I can get, but I won't be able to finish any of these trees with what I can get, or rather, I won't be able to get the best things or some of these upgrades in tier 4. So just be aware that there's a finite number of points. Also, when you're looking at skill points and research, ideally you'll want to grab these ones with little arrows around them, because those are team boosts. So the next one I'm going to get is actually going to be this one, and I'll be providing +8 offense to my entire party. That's an important thing to do so you can boost your party, and your party ideally will be boosting you as well. So it could make it so that you're a level 80 doing level 100 content, and it's not as bad because you guys have boosted each other to 100 or 105 or whatever it is. So that's another thing that you want to keep track of. And my last tip for now is try to keep an eye out for having one weapon of each element type. I have this nature Deathstalker, I have the Gravedigger that's fire, I have a water pummeler, and I have the Hydra that is energy damage. As you move into Lake Canny Valley and Twine Peaks, all of Twine Peaks, you're going to find that you're going to see a lot more elemental husks around. And the biggest targets that you have to worry about that are elemental are going to be huskies and smashers. But it can also take an extra bullet or two to kill just a regular husk that is an element, especially if you're using something that's weak against it. So ideally you'll pick up one of each, you'll level them all up in line with each other like I do. Or if you're going to level up just one, make sure it's an energy. You won't be doing optimal damage to everything, but you won't be doing crap damage to everything as well. If something doesn't have an element on it, like this triple tap here, I don't even take it past 2-star. There's really not much of a point. I keep it around in case I want to use it in something like Horde Bash where I can craft lower things and they're effective. But that's pretty much it. So, I hope you enjoyed that video. If there is any questions that you'd like to ask me, go ahead and shoot me a comment down there. If this video helped you out a bunch, go ahead and throw me a like. And if you'd like to see more Fortnite videos like these where I do tips for new players, I've been doing solo Storm Shield defenses. I'm up to Twine 3 will be the next one. And then I also do some indie stuff on the side. So if you want to see any of that stuff, go ahead and hit me with a subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. I'm Dash Brandon, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.